My name is John, and I have always been an art enthusiast. When I stumbled upon an ancient painting in a small, obscure art gallery, I never could have imagined the terror it would unleash upon my life. The painting depicted a hauntingly beautiful woman, her eyes filled with a sorrow, though deep it seemed to pierce through my soul. Her pale skin contrasted with her dark, flowing hair, and her lips were painted a deep crimson, a stark reminder of her mortality. As I stood before the painting, I couldn't help but feel an inexplicable connection to the woman portrayed. It was as if her anguish reached out to me, drawing me into her world of despair. I was entranced, unable to tear my eyes away from the haunting image. The gallery owner, an elderly woman named Mrs. Hawthorne, noticed my fascination and approached me with an ominous smile. "Ah, I see you have found the portrait of Isabella," she said in a hushed tone. "Be warned, dear, there is a curse upon that painting." I brushed off Mrs. Hawthorne's warning, convinced that it was merely a marketing ploy to intrigue potential buyers. But as the days passed, strange occurrences began to plague my life. I would wake in the middle of the night to the sound of soft weeping, only to find my tear-stained face staring back at me in the mirror. Each night, I would dream of Isabella, trapped in a world of sorrow and darkness. Her mournful eyes would follow me through my dreams, her presence becoming more real with each passing night. The weight of her despair seemed to seep into my own psyche, leaving me with a sense of hopelessness that I had never experienced before. Desperate for answers, I returned to the art gallery to confront Mrs. Hawthorne about the curse. But when I arrived, the gallery had disappeared without a trace, as if it had never existed. Panic set in as I realized I was now alone in my terrifying ordeal. I became consumed by the mystery of the cursed painting and the woman it portrayed. I delved into old archives and historical records, searching for any trace of Isabella. My obsession grew, and I became determined to uncover the truth behind her sorrowful gaze. Late one night, I stumbled upon an ancient diary hidden away in the dusty shelves of a long-forgotten library. Its pages bore the name Isabella, and as I began to read, I was transported back in time to a tale of heartache and tragedy. Isabella was a young woman who had fallen in love with a talented artist named Alexander. Their love was passionate, but forbidden, as Alexander was already promised to another. They carried on a clandestine affair, meeting in secret to exchange their vows of devotion. But their love was not destined to last. On the night they had planned to elope, Isabella discovered Alexander's lifeless body hanging from a tree in the woods. Devastated by grief and betrayal, she took her own life, leaving behind a legacy of sorrow and despair. The diary spoke of a cursed painting, Alexander's final gift to Isabella, a portrait that captured her anguish and bound her tormented soul to the canvas. Legend had it that anyone who gazed into the eyes of the painting would be cursed with Isabella's despair, their own emotions merging with hers, until they were consumed by her sorrow. I couldn't believe the chilling revelation that unfolded before me. It seemed impossible, but I couldn't ignore the undeniable connection I felt with Isabella. Her anguish had become my own, and the weight of her despair threatened to crush me. Determined to break the curse, I sought the help of a renowned paranormal expert, Professor Jonathan Reed. With his extensive knowledge of the supernatural, he agreed to assist me in breaking the curse that had plagued me. We devised a plan to confront the cursed painting, hoping to free Isabella from her torment. Armed with ancient relics and incantations, we entered my home, the painting looming before us like a specter of sorrow. The air grew heavy as Professor Reed began the ritual, his voice resonating with ancient power. The room seemed to tremble with energy, and the painting came to life, the sorrow in Isabella's eyes intensifying. As the ritual reached its climax, I felt a surge of emotions within me, a whirlwind of sorrow, grief, and longing. Isabella's anguish consumed my senses, threatening to pull me into the depths of her despair. But just as I thought I would be lost forever, a brilliant light erupted from the painting. Isabella's image flickered, and then she vanished, her tormented soul finally released from its cursed prison. Relief washed over me as the weight of Isabella's despair lifted. I felt a sense of closure, as if a long-lost soul had finally found peace. Since that night, the cursed painting has remained an enigma. I no longer feel the haunting connection to Isabella, and the inexplicable occurrences have ceased. The painting now hangs in a dark corner of my home, a solemn reminder of the horrors that can lurk within the world of art. I have learned that some mysteries are better left unsolved, that some paintings hold secrets too dark to comprehend. The tale of Isabella and her cursed portrait will forever be etched in my memory, a chilling reminder of the perilous power that can be wielded by the brush strokes of a tormented artist.